Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm going to update you on my 67 Mustang GT500E convertible build here. That's a resin body that I cast and been slowly working on, but believe it or not, I just can't get myself satisfied with the paint job, and I know I can do better, and it's just struggling with me. So if you saw my last video where I had taken and I had shot white on it and I had some cracking going on with the paint, and then I shot the yellow on top of it. Was liking the color, but the transparency was showing all of the issues under the paint, so it was like, alright, I'm going to start over, strip it down, and do it over again. So I had taken the body and I stripped it, and you saw all of that video's up, and got it back to the resin, and since then I shot primer on it. And I had showed you this paint from House of Color, and it's a bright yellow pearl, which I really like out of the bottle. This is how it looks out, wet, I should say. But as the name implies, it is lime gold. So when I sprayed this and it dries more of a green lime gold. It really is a lime gold, and I like the color, but not for this car. I really wanted a brighter yellow or an orange, so I'm kind of rethinking what I'm going to do with this build at the moment. So after doing that, I stripped this off of it so it no longer has this on it. So I was just going through my tester's paint and I started working on spraying a little bit more, and I'm just feeling this one out right now. Is what's going on here, and it's getting a little frustrating. So I had some yellow and I shot this really bright yellow, and it's looking pretty good, but it's a little too much like a school bus yellow. I believe the bottle is actually Chuck Yeager gloss yellow, something I had in my stash for a long time and never really used it. And my initial thought was, I'll spray this on, use it as a base coat, and spray the other yellow on top of it. So I had done that, of course, so you could see it in these photos. And I like the way it's a little thin, so it's kind of showing, through the line there, so you can kind of see that. And I'm like, I'm not too worried about that because I want to put a stripe over this, so I'm going to put black stripes over this. And I was really concerned about the sides and everything, and they're pretty decent. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll keep going, and we'll see what's going on with it. But I'm just really not feeling this color. So shot the hood, and of course shot the rear bumper, and liking the way the rear bumper is fitting and looking on the car. So let's put it on there so it's nice and clean. Gives it a real nice look as far as the monotone, and I'm really liking that. And then I think it'll look good with the stripes, but it's just the same thing. I'm really not feeling this color. And then I somehow bumped it right there, so if you can kind of see, something happened right there where I bumped it while I was spraying, and there's just not quite as good coverage right there. There we go, you can see that now. So alright, I got that going on, and the paint's coming out really good. I got a fisheye right there. There's one fisheye right there. I got another fisheye right there. And then everything else came out kind of good. You can kind of see didn't get inside the panel gaps very well, which I kind of like it to get in there, so it's a little dark in the panel gaps. So I'm like, alright, I'll deal with that or work on that. And then same thing, all the rest of the gaps. But coverage ended up coming out really good. So it's fairly decent, but I can do better. I just hate to strip it and start over. But I'm really not feeling this color. And after all these years of having this kit and all the effort and work I've put into this kit, I'm not going to give up on it, but I'm going to get it going. But I'm starting to rethink my color choices on what I'm going to do. If I'm going to keep it yellow or some sort of yellow or orange. Not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but I do like the stripes idea that I'm going to go with, and then the stripes on the side, which would kind of make that fisheye disappear, putting the stripes, because I think the stripes would go just right under it where It'll be visible, but not really. Your eyes probably wouldn't catch it. But then the paint's getting a little thick. To get decent coverage on the testers, and I forgot about the testers' yellows being this way, and even their whites. You pretty much have to shoot them over a flat white because they don't cover very well. And the more I look at it, there's actually a run right here where it's a little bit dark under here where it pulled. But the paint coverage on the testers' yellows was not all that great, and I remember them being that way. And then the longer you have it, the more it'll, like, it looks decent now. The longer you have it, the more it'll do that. So this one's going to go back into the tank and get stripped again and reprimed. And I'm not giving up on it, but it's going to be a little while. And I'll see what I think on colors. But I would like this color, but not on this car. So there's a street rod that this might end up being on. But it's a great color, but it really is more of a lime gold than the yellow that it appears, or golden yellow. So I thought maybe I'll even shoot some of this over this, but this stuff surprisingly covered pretty well. So I think it'll do the same thing on this. So maybe I'll do that, shoot some on it, and see what she looks like, just for comparison, and maybe get to work on the rest of this, because the chassis and everything else is kind of sitting, been kind of playing with it, but not really getting anything else really done, because for some reason I really want to get the body right. And once the body's done, I'll play with the interior a little bit more and have some fun with it. But that's what's going on with this one. So quite a bit of that. And let's see, I started cutting the exhaust down, getting the tranny assembled, and there's a lot of stuff just thrown in here. Got another hood. So I was having a little bit of fit issues, but the paint's getting kind of thick. And then I have these custom seats that I keep thinking about using, and I go back and forth on whether or not I'm going to use those seats. But as if you saw my last updates, I did black out a lot of the interior and getting that all ready and fitted. So I'll be working on more of the chassis and some of this stuff, but I still got to paint the motor blue, and I was fitting this, and this is all fitting really well. But I'll get to work on a lot more of this stuff. So while this is getting a little frustrating, start putting some of this stuff back in here. I'll get this one done, but it's getting a little frustrating. But that's how it is. Everybody's got their challenges, and it works on from there. But like this one, I don't know why I can't seem to paint yellow right now. I got a couple of different yellows. I wasn't happy with that. I was real happy with the butternut yellow on the Camaro, but that didn't dry properly, or I did something wrong there. So I had to strip that, and I got to order some more paint. So I think I'm going to order a couple of different ones and get another paint order, but that'll be a couple of weeks before I see that again. So this one's going to probably sit. I'll strip it, reprime it, and go from there, because I got to prime a couple others. But I think it might be time to start another project, so I'm open for some other ideas too. Any kits you'd like to see, or stuff that has come out that you would like to see on the channel. So I'm open to any suggestions there. And words of encouragement are always nice. I really appreciate that. But I keep myself pretty motivated, and showing you guys what I'm doing and what's going on the channel is motivation enough for me right there to get these going and keep them moving along. But I've got this one, and show you some of my other projects that might be coming up and coming along down the shows here, down the road with the channel. So I got a few others there, and some other ones I really want to build too. So I'll be sharing and showing some of those. So after shooting that bright yellow on there, and not being happy with the coverage and the paint on that one and some of the flaws, so I stripped it again, as I mentioned I was going to do. So here's just a quick update on that portion of it and where I'm at. Now I stripped it down and got all the yellow back off to gray primer, and I shot another layer of primer on it, did some final sanding. So there's some parts here that you can see that I've gone through the primer, and it's ready for one more stage of primer. which I'll end up shooting on it here real soon. But it's getting there. It's back to a state, and now this is where I'm getting a little hesitant about going with the yellow still, and I'll set it aside and put some thought into it. But that's where this is at. I'm going to get, like I said, one more shot of primer on these areas and a little bit more sanding and body work where I'm pretty much ready for that stage. So just figure I'd give you another brief little update so I can tack on to my video here, and you can see where it's at right at the moment, and keep working on this. But I just wanted to give you another brief update here. It's just getting in here and cleaning all this. It's getting a little challenging when you paint a model that many times and strip it. But thankfully, you know, when it strips it, it goes almost right back to primer or to raw plastic and resin. Although this primer from Scale Finishes doesn't seem to strip off very easily. Took the paint right off of it, but left most of the primer. So that was kind of a surprise. Wasn't expecting that. But I've just got a little bit more body work and priming to do, and then I'm ready to apply color. I just haven't decided if I'm going to keep going with my vision of the bright yellow or not. But so that's where this is at right now. So we'll get some more primer on it, a little bit more body work to it, and we'll go from there. So with that said, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all of your comments. I really appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday.